Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to talk about EXP camps. We're going to talk about what some of the best EXP camps are, which camps have been my absolute favorite, and we're going to go from the bottom to the top. So let's go ahead and dig in. So how we're going to do this is we are going to go through all of the different chaos fields, talk about a couple of the different camp positions. We are also going to talk about alternatives in the real world, and particularly when we get to around level 70-ish, we are going to focus on both Skypirates and the real world. So one of the things I was doing as I was preparing for this video is I was thinking about what camps have been good, which camps have been best. And of course, when you are someone who is just starting out, there is almost no better place to farm than Chaos Fields 1. You can see here I actually had my attack animation on. However, when you are farming in Chaos Fields 1, you do want to wait for just a little bit. You don't want to farm the lower tier monsters here because a lot of the lower tier monsters do not drop the items that you need. Famously in my alt video, I say come here at level 33. You can start fighting any of the earth or water monsters that drop pages. So if you look here, a lot of the monsters don't drop pages for quite a while. The first monsters that start dropping them are at level 30, which are the coffin pickers here. And you got to be careful because it's the coffin pickers with the chaos spirits, right? And you got to look here, like the mucks, these ones don't drop fire, but the ones with the chaos spirits drop the fire pages. So you just got to be really careful because you can see over here, the ones with the muck that don't drop pages are on the right side. The one with the spirits over here on the left side are the ones that drop the pages. So you do just have to be careful with the camps on this floor because it's really easy for you to choose the wrong pack of enemies, farm the wrong monsters like I was famously in my alt farming video. And of course, right again here, you'll see right side is mucks, which don't drop pages. Left side is chaos spirits. Famously just not do very good if you're farming these. I do think that there are no better farming locations than Chaos Fields 1 because you're going to get Territe, you're going to get pages, and there's no PKs in this zone. So I do think, you know, even here at the final enemy, you're able to farm 2 packs quite well. Even though the monsters are somewhat ranged, they do cluster together and you are going to be able to kill them relatively quickly. Some alternatives up to this point would be like farming for soul stones, farming for specialty items. You may want to do that as a lower level character, but if you're bringing your alts through, if you're charging your alts, if you already have those soul stones and those specialties, if you already unlocked puzzles in the real world, that would be more important to focus on. Now, there are a few places in the real world that I did farm before I got to this point. And most notably, it's going to be in Golden Grove. So one of the few places I farmed was actually the Boreers and the Boar Hunters here. Now you can see it, they're in this area here right past the spring. They also have, you know, other monsters here that are around, but really these Boreers that drop the gold items, if you're a new player, if this is your first account, if you are really hurting for gold, this can be a really good boo-boo farm method for lower level players. And because the monsters are level 38, you can boo-boo farm here until at least like 42, 43, and that'll get you through the kind of initial stages that you need to get through. And that of course brings us to Chaos Fields 2. And Chaos Fields 2, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of the intro part of Chaos Fields 2, which is why I'm kind of encouraging you guys to grind out and level out either by boo-boo farming or staying on Chaos Fields 1 until maybe 44 if you can push it. The reason why is a lot of the intro monsters do drop the passive magic pages, and I've never really been a huge fan of the passive magic pages because a lot of the times you're using passives from your main class or you're using passives from another class. So I didn't really come here until I hit the Skelly Paladin levels. And even then, I was in here kind of intermittently because a lot of these monsters go really quickly. A lot of the levels between, I would say, about 44 to 50, you get a lot of EXP from the main story. So the amount of time that you're going to spend in here this is probably the Chaos Fields that I spent the least amount of time in. There is going to be some monsters you are going to want to intentionally farm, though. You can see here the Skelly Paladins. It is really easy to get multiple packs. They are all melee monsters, so if you do come here around this level, they are going to be very good to farm. The Earth monsters over here, they're a little bit more spread out, and I've had trouble double pack farming in here before. Specifically, you'll see this guy is positioned between 2 packs, but you tend to drift in and out of multi-packs. So while I can wholly endorse the fire, I usually jump from the fire directly to light or dark. And this is one of those moments where you do have to make a farming decision here. There are going to be light and dark packs on this floor. There's a whole bunch right here, and you can see a lot of people are farming them. The reason a lot of people are farming them is there are not very many opportunities to farm light pages and dark pages. They are very sparse, and they are pretty rare. So if you're somebody that wants to increase your light and dark pages, this is going to be a place to farm, but it can be difficult to farm 2 packs here with potentially other people here farming. You do have to farm, like, you can't farm on the side over here, right? Because the gap is too long. You could maybe farm 2 packs horizontally right here, but almost always you're going to have, like, Zach right here on his ult. He positioned his engineer to do 2 packs, but then you can see Layla over here just comes and plops herself right in the center, right? And now all of a sudden he's probably AFK farming and isn't able to get 2 packs, right? So there's lots of problems with this camp. I do think, though, that with how valuable light and dark pages are, and this kind of being the first major opportunity to get them, I do think it's worth it to farm even at lower EXP and even as your character gets higher levels. So I think you should prioritize this farm, and I think this should be a pretty big focus. I pretty much brought all of my alts here and ground these out as much as possible, just to get as many dark and light pages as I possibly could. I also think that as good as Chaos Fields 3 is for farming, it's not perfect, and you know, it's just, you have the opportunity now to get these light and dark pages. And I mean, if you run up to Chaos Fields 3, which a lot of people are tempted to do, right, the only thing that you're going to get is you're going to run into a bunch of monsters that are going to be dropping passive pages again. So there should be no rush in order to get up here. Now, in terms of alternative farming, right, because we are looking at sub-level 55, maybe you don't want to farm those light and dark pages. Maybe you're looking at other alternatives. That's going to mostly be in the Serene Forest, and I did do a lot of side farming in the Serene Forest. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did a lot of farming for soul stones. This was the first time I really started getting into collectibles, so I did a lot of these. I did boo-boo farming here, which you can do. There's just a lot of options that you can do in order to gain EXP and also gain CP. So on my main character, I actually neglected the light and the dark form for the most part. I mostly focused on grinding out Serene Forest. I mostly focused on main story. And what I found was I got into a position where I didn't even realize that light and dark farm was really there. And it definitely hampered my light and dark progression for a very long time. And as a new player, one of the temptations here was Stellar Jellies drop eggs, so I was going after that. There's just a whole, like, every pack of monsters, it seems like, drops some form of soulstone or just something that you can get and be beneficial from. So for me, I spent a lot of time in Serene Forest, and I even tried to spend a lot of time in Allegra Plateau just as I was starting out, because Allegra Plateau opens up with a boo-boo farm, and this was back when I was thinking that, you know, oh, you want a boo-boo farm in parties, which, you know, I was still learning back then, and I was experimenting as a new Ni no Kuni content creator. So I was kind of all over the place in these level ranges. But if I were to go through it again, and if I go through my alts, I definitely focus on those light and darks. And I do sometimes jump into Serene Forest depending on how crowded. I think Serene Forest would give you more EXP long run. Just because the light and dark camps are really awkwardly positioned, and you have no control if you're AFK farm, if someone's going to camp on top of you. But that would kind of be where I would go. And if, of course, you're scared of PK, right, because a lot of people are going into Chaos Fields 2, it's their first experience with PK, definitely just stay in Serene Forest for as long as possible. Now, Chaos Floor 3, I would lie if I said I farmed here a lot. The Corpus and the Minecrawler are not bad. They are pretty good farms if you do the ice, the water, and the fire. The fire drops meteor, if you look at the Minecrawler here, which is a pretty big deal. The water drops frozen storm, and the earth drops grasping thorn. So in perspective, coming back, I definitely would have spent more time farming the earth here to potentially get some grasping thorn books. I probably would have spent some more time farming the fire as well. The problem that you run into, though, is these monsters are right before the best camp, I would call it, in the game. And that is going to be the mushrooms. Now, the mushrooms are incredible, and we're actually going to move over there right now just to show you how good they are, because this camp, I think right now, is probably the best, most accessible camp in the game for most players. I think most players maybe don't have the capacity to fully utilize 3-pack farming in higher chaos field floors right now. So I think for a lot of people, these mushrooms are just a godsend. Like, if you're level 60, if you're level 58, like, come here early, come at level 58, you can pull up to 3 packs of monsters. This position right here is my favorite spot. You just put yourself in the middle and, you know, you aggro everything. They're all melee oriented. And then once you get 2 or 3 levels from that, you move on to the water. And again, you can get 2 or 3 packs here. Don't be like these guys, single pack farming. But I mean, okay, I guess they're maybe hitting 2 packs here. But try and get as many packs as humanly possible, because you are going to be able to get 2 to 3 packs for all of them. And this goes all the way. These guys are level 65, everybody. So you're going to be able to stay here until 69 or 70 even. And I would recommend you stay here as long as possible, because one, this is the first stage where you get access to tier 2 book drops. This is also going to be a very important stage for setting you up for the Skypirates. Now, Skypirates is one of the most notorious PK, just the terrible camps in the game, personally, I think. And I think a lot of you should stay here as long as humanly possible. I understand that Skypirates can be really tempting. I understand that Skypirates can be like, oh man, I get more territe. There's fire monsters I can kill there, right? Do not do it. Stay here until you are at least 70. And even then, I would not recommend Skypirates, because I think Skypirates has a lot of problems with it. And let's go ahead and talk about that, because going into Skypirates here, you know, when Skypirates first opened up, and even now Skypirates has a lot of issues for the first floor. You know, it starts out at level 65, right? And so everybody tries to go there early. Don't go there early. You know, these monsters just drop the normal pages, but everybody wants to farm them, and it's like, stop, please stop going there to kill these monsters. But you run into kind of, you know, up until this point, every camp has been viable for players. Every camp has been like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna have to worry too much about getting PK'd. I'm not gonna have to worry too much about dying. And all of a sudden, when you come to Skypirates, what you're going to find is that the pack positioning is tight, but you're gonna find that there's not very many channels open. You're gonna find, you know, situations where you're EXPing next to other people. You're suddenly going to steal packs of their monsters. You're gonna end up getting killed. Like, look how crowded this is in here. Compared to where we just were, look at how crowded this is. You have 2 people fighting the same pack of monsters. That's how crowded this area is. And a lot of people come here. A lot of people, you know, they're like, this is the best EXP I can get. I need to come here. You do not need to come here. Stay on the previous Chaos Fields floor until you are 70, and then do some real world farming. Candidly, do some main story, do everything that you can do to avoid this area. I would even recommend you go to Winter Wonderland, do some boo-boo farming, get some EXP, do some boo-boo farming, right? If you want to break from the mushrooms, you can go here. Go do some soulstone farming, go do some, you know, whatever you need to do to stay out of Chaos Field or Skypirate 1 until you're about level, I would say, 73-ish, 72, 73, because you're just going to die. It's going to affect your experience. There's plenty of camps out here, you know, that you can do. I personally farmed creepers here. I farmed level 70 creepers forever because they drop meat, they drop eggs, they drop fruit, they drop chests. Like, I just planted my character on the creepers and I just farmed them for like 3 or 4 days, just to get the soul stones, just to not have to deal with the drama that is Chaos Fields 1. Now, a lot of people want to come back. They want to come back, and I'll show you why they come back. They want to come back because people tell them, they go, you know what's really good? You know what's a really good farm in Chaos Fields, or in Skypirates 1? It's the creeper farm. You gotta go do the creepers. You gotta go do the creeper farm. The creeper farm is one camp, you guys. It is one camp. There's technically 2 camps with 2 different packs of creepers, but it's one camp. And if you're not making the best of this camp, someone, a whale, is going to come by and murder you. And that's because this is the only camp. This is the best camp. And only the powerful are going to EXP here. And the powerful will kill you if you try to EXP here. So I would not recommend going here. In fact, I would recommend at level 73. Instead of trying to compete with whales and a bunch of other players for this, candidly, single spot dangerous camp, right? You actually go over here. We're gonna go back to the main room, and this is another one of those camps that a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people don't come and do this camp because they don't, like, something doesn't compute in their head that this is a good camp, and I don't know what it is. But this camp right here, you can see this guy over here, smart person, farming 3 packs. Shout out to Godia. But these dark monsters are level 85, or 75, sorry. And you can pull multiple packs. So shout out to Petrov. Shout out to Sherry here. You notice these 2 are from the same kingdom. This is one of those things where, I wonder what level they are. They're in the same party, it looks like. They're level 75. But this is one of those things where these are packs of melee monsters. You can camp and attract 2, maybe even 3 packs at a time. You're going to be able to kill them fast. Even if they're higher level, this is probably worth it for you because it's going to be better than competing, right? Unless you're just out in Winter Wonderland killing monsters, grinding monsters. You know, this is going to be a really good camp for you. And this camp lasted me for quite a while. And if you saw my recent video talking about double pack farming, you'll know this is one of those camps that you can reliably double pack. You don't have to worry about getting PK'd here. People are very rarely farming this area because what happens is people get excited to move up, right? This happens every time, every single time. People get excited to go to the next floor, and that excitement hinders their EXP, their terite growth, and their gold growth, right? So instead of farming here, right, and these are level 75 mobs, you can farm here until 80, right, or potentially 79 even. Instead of farming here, people go, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go up. I can fight those next tier of monsters, no problem. We're gonna go do that. So let's go ahead and move up to Skypirates 2. Now, Skypirates 2, I have a love-hate relationship with right now. I think there are good camps here. I think there are bad camps. I think one of the good camps, if you can make it work, is going to be these fire monsters right here. However, I do think that double pack farming them is difficult. Particularly if you have a lot of people here or you're trying to do it overnight. You can end up with PKs in certain situations. You can end up in the wrong situation. The other thing you have to consider is there's lots of ranged monsters here, right? So I'm just going to run through this pack. You can see I got archers here chasing me. And this has the same thing going for each area. So it'll, you know, I have archers over here. You can see there's ranged packs hitting Hopia over here. Some people are just, you know, accepting that they're only going to do 1 pack. Even the main boss does have a ranged attack, the rhinoceros, right? So while he does move closer eventually, he himself does have a ranged attack. So the reason people want to move here quickly and they want to come and farm these monsters is because they drop page 3s, right? But the reality is you don't need page 3s really when you're at this point. I think there's very few people that have farmed enough or farmed on their alts or gotten enough pages to where they actively need to farm page 3s. I think what more realistically people do is they come up and they're like, oh, I get more territe. I'm going to territe farm up here. And honestly, you should stay down below. You should go fight those dark monsters, and you should be happy fighting those dark monsters. Now, I personally farmed those dark monsters until 79. Now, there's a couple of places you could go over here, which we'll talk about. I'll show you what I did at 79, and I went to Glittering Grotto. And the reason I went to Glittering Grotto is because I did want to start farming the soul stones. I did want to start farming the other items. But as I had talked about previously, when I was leveling up, right, when I was doing Winter Wonderland and trying to avoid farming the Chaos, or the Skypirates 1 entry area, I had farmed creepers. And when I farmed creepers, I also farmed Indomitable Lumps, and I farmed Coffin Pickers. But what I got was actually a lot of these. And if you don't know about Vintage Trunks, they do have a chance to drop an ability that you need. And for rogues, that's Swift Movement. And I actually got a copy of Swift Movement and a couple other copies of abilities while I was doing that farm. So I wanted to experiment when I was around level 79. You know, I found I didn't really like the camps that were in Chaos, in Skypirates 2. So I was experimenting, and I looked in the real world, and I found this camp right here. Now, this camp with the creepers, the dragonette hatchlings, the Botanias, this camp and the mossy monuments, this camp is going to give you creeper soul stones, which you can eventually max out on and trade for other soul stones. This camp is going to give you meat, eggs, milk, and it'll also give you chests. Now, what's unique about this camp, these are the packs of monsters that are right near Hector, is that you are going to be getting a lot of chests. And while they do have hatchlings, which are ranged monsters, the hatchlings do come within range to attack you. So they don't stay at the far extremities. You are able to kill them relatively quickly. So this became a really good camp for me. And I really enjoyed this camp from probably about, I would say 79 to about 81, 82. Even then, I was trying to push other camps, and it just was not working for me. I got a lot of chests from it, and I actually was able to level up Swift Movement quite a bit, and we'll get more into that because my current camp is focused on that as well. Now, if you were wanting to stay in Chaos Fields, or Skypirates, I'm going to keep calling it Chaos Fields, I would recommend farming these dark monsters right here. This is a pretty competitive camp, but this is a very good camp. You'll see Carolina from Light is here right now. Light, of course, is a top guild. These light monsters you can triple pack farm relatively easily. It is a little dangerous because they are you can easily aggro multiple packs of monsters. These monsters as well, they can be very good. They are ranged, but you can pack farm a lot of them. So keep that in mind as you are going through this. There are tons of monsters that you can multi-pack farm in here, but I just chose to farm in the real world because I was really wanting EXP where I wasn't going to get PK'd, and that I could focus on these chests because I wanted these passive abilities. Flash forward to now, and I'm currently looking at Burning Desert, and I've had a lot of success with Burning Desert. Two camps in particular. A lot of people have said that the Boo Boo Farm camp up here is really good, the level 80 light camp. I preferred my other camp. I didn't really care for any of the introductory light monsters. A lot of them have ranged monsters, like the Rocktopus, which is really far ranged. Even some of the boar monsters are ranged. Granted, the boar monsters do have double soulstone and item drop, so you could potentially farm these guys. But I farmed the Wyvern Warriors and I farmed the Raiders, and I've been farming them pretty nonstop, and we're going to go to the Wyvern Warrior camp, and you'll probably see why I've been farming them. Both of these have ranged monsters in them. Both of them, however, do drop the treasure chest, and they are relatively close packs. So even though they have ranged monsters in them, we have really close packs together, and so that makes for really fast and efficient killing. Right here is my primary camp for raiders, and what's great about this is the raiders do spawn right here close to you. So I did manage to cap out my raider soul stones, which was great because now I can train the raider soul stones, and you'll actually see my guild members My guild members are actually over here right now. Zamus is actually doing the exact same farm that I was doing. If you guys don't know Zamus, he is another rogue and another whale out here on our server in my guild that is exactly my level as well. And he's actually higher level than me. He's actually 85 to 86. So he's out here still farming them. He's still farming them 82 because I can kill them and get, you know, 185 EXP, or I could choose to move forward and farm some other monsters. Now, for the Witch's Wood moving forward, if I don't end up farming in Skypirates 2, I would probably go jump in at the level 85 gobblers, because a lot of these are melee monsters. There's a lot of really good melee monsters in Witch's Wood, and you are going to need to get a head start on this. So there are just a lot of really good melee camps that I am looking forward to farming in Witch's Wood currently. Now, I do want to point out, because some people do this, especially if they're whales, they actually go right now to Chaos Fields, to Skypirates 3. And we've actually done this, and particularly if you're wanting to reset your PK score, this can be really good. But the Skypirates T3, nobody's up here really. Nobody ever really comes in here, and there are some pretty good packs that you can kill. In particular over here, the introductory packs, you can actually see some people are killing it. I don't think it's my guild member. It might be my guild member. Nope, it's Space Duck from Light. But this is actually, you can see all the monster packs are really close together. He's been able to position himself in between very well. He's level 88, right? So he's around our level. And he's coming in here and he's just, you know, taking him out. Not only is he going to be getting good Territe, he's also going to be getting really good EXP. And so we actually had a couple of us come up here. Depending on your CP, I would say you need about 1,150,000 in order to be up here and farm effectively and safely. You can actually get really good EXP, and you will level up very, very fast. All right, everybody, that is the end of the video. Hopefully this video helped you guys. I just wanted to take you around the world and talk about it, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.